Third man in, yeah.
Hey, sports fans! Welcome to Hockey Night in Belmont. I'm your host, Gomer. Going to be taking a look at my favorite NHL playoff draft, the one that happens every year in Belmont, the Belmont Oldtimers hockey draft. I've been going to this draft as much as I can since 1989 when my dad took me for the first time. Wasn't legally able to drink, but that didn't stop him from buying me a few. And I went with my dad 2 times before he died, and then afterwards I went as much as I could. So this draft happens at the last weekend of the regular season. It's not always at the same time as the actual end of the regular season. There's sometimes usually the last games are being played that weekend, which makes it hard sometimes if you have a team that's 2 or 3 teams that are vying for that last playoff spot. But we'll get into that in just a minute. So you can see here the price of the tickets hasn't changed much. It used to be $15 back in 1999. Now it's $20. And that hasn't changed too much over time. Now, if you notice, every ticket has a number on it. I was number 58, 63, 62, 49. You get the idea. Now, that ticket is your bingo ball number. And I'll explain that in just a minute. So this draft is one of the hardest drafts to win. I've never been in the money on this draft. The closest I came was a 8th place back in 1993 when I had Kirk Muller from the Habs, and they won the Stanley Cup that year. That was the best I ever did. Usually there's 80 to 85 guys in the draft, and that becomes important later on. So all you need for this draft, it's quite simple. All you need is a bingo machine with balls up to 80 to 85, and you need a roll of paper and a whole bunch of boards going across. So basically what you have is you have that sheet of paper, and it's got 4 rounds. 1, 2, 3, 4 rounds, and then it's going to go from 1 all the way to 80 to 84, depending how many guys. I think last time there was 82 guys were involved. Like I said, with the bingo machine, you have to wait until your ball is called, and that's when you pick. And what they do is they have somebody with the Oldtimers. He's listening to the guy handling the bingo machine on a microphone, and whenever the number is called, he'll put that number in there. So put like 14, 26, 81, 65, 64, and so on and so on and so on. What they do is they go through the whole round first, calling out all the numbers. So you got to pay attention to when you are. And occasionally there will be like a money spot or a prize. It'll be like a prize spot. So if you land on that spot, you get a prize. There was a time where they used to give money. They used to give like $5, $10 as a prize. Nowadays, they just give like a hat, a t-shirt, those cups that have the little red light in them, so whenever your team scores, it'll light up. Stuff like that. I've won a shaving bag before. I've won a t-shirt. I've won a toque, a Seattle Seahawks toque. In Dallas, I would have been more impressed. So I've won stuff. I even won some money spots. So that's pretty cool. Going back to the actual tickets and the actual spots. So when you pick a player, and what they do is they have a whole. They used to do this by sheets, and you used to have to do it. They haven't done technology yet, so you have to use to cross out names on a sheet whenever someone picked them. Because once someone picks a player, no one else can pick that player. So when you have 80 guys times that by 4 rounds, that's 320 players are going to be picked. So you're going to be picking guys who might not even, who are injured in the minors or never see the ice. And what's interesting, when it's the last weekend of the regular season and there's 2 teams vying for that last place, you can pick, buyer beware, you can pick players from one of those 2 teams and hope to hell the guy you picked makes the playoffs. It just adds a little more interest to it. So this season here had 82 guys involved. So there were 328 players picked that round. So I can go with this one. I picked 68th overall in the first round. So I took Plekanec from Montreal. Then the second round, I picked 54th overall. So I picked Fowler from Anaheim. So that was pick 122. Then in the third round, I picked 42nd overall. It picked a guy named Matthew Darche from Montreal. And then in round 4, I picked 45th overall. So I picked Johan Hecht of Buffalo. This is going back a few years. So you can see how hard it is. If you don't pick well or high up, you're not going to get a lot of good players. But that's not a guarantee. Because last year, there was one guy who picked first in the first round, first in the second round. He picked third in the third round, then he picked like 50th in the last round. And he still didn't win this playoff. All depends on who you pick and how well that team does in the playoffs. So it's not easy. And then down here, you can see I picked Getzlaf from Anaheim, number 11th. Tangway from Montreal, 21st. Higgins, 29th. And then Gleason was like, I think that's 73rd. So you can see that it's not easy. It's all luck of the draw. And me and some of my dad's old friends, because I usually sit with them, we have a little side bet going. So for the first 3 rounds, we started with toonies. Now we go with $5. So each round, everyone puts $5 in a pot in the middle of the table. And you could have anywhere from 5 guys to 10 guys in on this. And whoever picks first that round wins the pot. So you can make your money back from your ticket within a round. And then the last round, we do it to see who picks last. There was one year I won 3 times. I won round 1, 2, and 4. So I actually went home with money in my pocket as opposed to money out of my pocket. So when you pay $20 for a ticket, I usually buy $20 in beer because they do have an open bar, and $20 will get you 5 drink tickets. And we also buy each other rounds too, so it's a pretty good night. It was even better when I lived in Belmont. Instead of living where I do now, where I have to drive, I can just stagger home. And then they also have a 50-50 draw on a bottle of on a 40-pounder of whatever liquor they have. Could be anything. The last couple of years, I've even donated a Mickey for the last person picked, kind of like a Mr. Irrelevant, just as a way to add something to it. And then at the end of the night, when all the 4 rounds are done, they have pizza. They bring out all these boxes of pizza out, and everyone has they sit around, they eat pizza, drink some more beer or whatever, and then slowly everyone starts heading home. It's a really good night. They do have this on officepools.com, where they have a site for this tournament. And in 2018, I was tied for 62nd. I can't remember what it was last year. I was doing pretty good through the first 2 rounds. I was in the top 10, and then I lost all my players, and I faded badly in the end. But I was in the middle of the pack in the 30s. I drafted Cam Atkinson from Columbus on the 63rd pick. 64th pick, I had Nino Niederreiter from Carolina. And 80th pick, I had Calvert from Colorado. And then with my 4th pick, 15th overall, I picked Rupe Heinz from Dallas. So the first 3 rounds, I didn't pick very well. Didn't have a high pick, and then I finally got a high pick in the 4th round. But as far as if I remember right, Dallas, Carolina, and Colorado all went to the 2nd round. Carolina went to the 3rd round, and then that was it. So this is a pretty cool hockey draft. It's the best one I've ever been at. I remember doing one when I was in Korea on faceoff.com, and then if you're in the top 500, you get a free T-shirt. I ended up being 223rd, something like that, and I got a free T-shirt. And, though I didn't see it for another 4 years because it had to get shipped to an address in Canada, which I was using at the time instead of because I couldn't use my Korean address there. And there was 1,500 guys in that, and you pick new players every round, which kind of sucks. I like this one better because it's one and done when picking. But anyway, that's my favorite NHL playoff draft. Any hockey fans out there, please tell me about the hockey draft you guys go to, and if it's any different than this one. Till next time, I'm Gomer. I'm out of here.